to go on the line tonight. Make sure you have everybody that's working with you on the call tonight. Tag everybody again, invite, send out the Zoom link all the way up to and through the call, okay? Make sure that nobody misses this call. And again, this is the Millionaire Mindset Call, the Power Hour. This is where you want to make sure that you are and all your fellow investors who are serious about taking their life, their business, their bank account to the next level, make sure that this is where they are every single Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, okay? Well, the time has come for me to step out of the way of greatness. The gentleman that I have the honor and privilege of introducing to you tonight, he has created millions of dollars investing, but the business model that he has created is filled with opportunities that have made millions of dollars for others, right? Everything from short-term to long-term investments, commodities, and master classes for wealth creation. One of the most current investments that he introduced to his investment club of over 3,000 investors produced $23 million in revenue in just 12 months. He himself turned a $10,000 investment into over $344,000 in that 12-month span. He has a goal to help 10,000 families generate $5,000 per month in residual income in the investments that he's sharing with us inside of the platform, excuse me. What I love most about this gentleman is he's the definition of integrity and character, and he's one of the only people that's ever been and done every single thing he ever committed to me that he would be or do. So please help me welcome to the line. Give me some 4 5s, give me some hearts, give me some love in the chat. Help me welcome to the line the GOAT, the greatest of all time, also known as the People's Champ, Mr. Samuel Bean.
What's going on, Carla? How we doing today?
Super fantastic, sir. How are you?
Well, fantastic. I got you hosting me, so I can't do any better than that. So I appreciate you. All your energy, big, beautiful smile. And again, it's just another great day in paradise, guys. Welcome to the ForeSight Family Millionaire Mindset Call. And really appreciate all those 4 5s and looking forward to getting back to some of those answers you guys put in the chat about your fears that are holding you guys back. But before we do any of that, definitely want to make sure we put you guys in a position where you understand exactly who we are and why you're here. Okay, tonight is what we do, what we use to equip all of our team to make sure you guys are fit to go to war, fit to do business, make sure you guys are putting yourself into a perspective where you grow your actual IQ, economic IQ to $1 million status. Because once you get your mindset up to $1 million status, then that actual income will follow, because water always seeks its marble. So its level. So, but us ForeSight guys, you know that word ForeSight means vision, and it's one of those things where we like to say that we know that you're rich before you do, because we see the best in you, and if you allow us, we will actually pull it out of you. Okay. The other thing is this: we have what we call Project Pride, producing residual income in a down economy. And that's what we are all about, guys. I don't see the economy getting any better anytime soon. And to be honest with you, it's our responsibility as the president in our own households to make sure we do what we need to do to make sure that our household stays afloat and make sure we're thriving in our own, economy under our own roof. All right. And then last but not least, we have our short-term goal of 2 to 3 years from now, Project 10,000. And this is where we as a unit, as a group, as an organization, as a family, are going to help 10,000 families earn $5,000 a month on residual recurring income, right? And that's very, very special to me, because I already know that that's 60 grand a year. And I know the average household right now in the U.S. is somewhere between $40,000 to $45,000 a year in income. Okay? And so you can help a family do that without them having to go get a job, right? You put them in a position of empowerment. So now people can really start to live. People can go actually take vacations instead of going up the street, around the corner, staying at home on vacation or staying in the same city in the same hotels. You can go around the world, right? You can put your kids through college. You can go out there and instead of downsizing, you can upsize your home, whatever it is. I just believe that you shouldn't be here existing. You shouldn't be here working to pay off bills for your whole entire life. And so that's why, this is part of the reason why Project 10,000 is so important to me for the masses, The other reason is because we have a nonprofit organization that we're putting together called ForeSight Foundation. And that's my own personal goal, my own selfish goal when it comes to helping, young men and women who've actually been incarcerated to make sure that it doesn't happen again and to prevent the incarceration of people, period. So I want to catch, that's my deal. That's what I want to do. And I need to be able to fund that myself. So I got to help you guys make a lot of money so I can do what I need to do and leave my legacy intact. So with that being said, again, just excited. I think we're closing in on week number 2 almost. August 14th will be week number 2 for the relaunch of the staking campaign, which has replaced the lending, campaign that we actually had for FinTop. And guys, people are thriving. And like I said, as expected, you'll always have people who will be early adopters, people who just, we know what had happened. We know what happened. We know how everything took off. We knew, how much money people made and how crazy things were. And we still have that emotion. So we're going. Then you have some people who, they still have some intrepidation. They have some doubt, some uncertainty and everything else. And that's fine. That's normal. You're a human being. And you are definitely allowed to have an emotion, positive or negative. But the one thing that we're going to make sure that we address today is how to get over the negative emotion, because it's okay to have an emotion. It's just not okay to let it sit there and linger. Okay, the longer that you let it sit there and linger, the more it destroys everything that you're looking to build. The more it will undo everything that you've already done. All of the coaching, all of the mentorship, all of the presentations, all of the invites, just everything that you've done. The longer you let that seed or that weed, fester in your spirit, the more damage it'll do. Okay. And so tonight we're definitely going to be talking about fear and how to kill fear. But I'm also, after we talk about fear, we're going to talk about what you need to do to go out here and explode, what you need to do to go out here and build up your pipeline, because some of you haven't inspected the health of your pipeline lately, and it's not in a good position, right? Some of you have some sick pipelines. We got to fix those pipelines. We got to get them healthy. And so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Also going to talk to you guys about how to go out here and blow up your chicken list, okay? Because a lot of you guys have people who you haven't called because, again, for a lot of different reasons, for fear, the thing that you might think that they might believe that this doesn't work, or you might believe that they believe that this may be beneath them, and all kind of other things. You haven't called the people on your chicken list, the people who you look up to. So we're going to address that today too. So we're going to talk about a couple of different things before we get off the call today. But I want to make sure you guys know that you're in the right place at the right time. You just have to be the right person, ready to receive. Okay, ready to receive. And so first things first, I've been having a couple of conversations with a couple of different groups, and I'm always excited to get with the leaders like, Julius Williams, who we got a chance to talk to his group, Lakeland and Shanlin, Williams got a chance to talk to their groups, a couple of other groups that we got a chance to talk to. And they pulled some of their leaders together and some of their people who are extremely excited together. And we talked about a couple of different things. And, one of the things that we did talk about that they wanted me to bring this back up for the people who were not able to get on those calls. One was the 90-day plan. When you look at the 90-day blitz, and this kind of gives you a little bit more definitive understanding of what you're supposed to be doing and what each one of those months represent within that 90-day window. Okay. And so when I look at the first 30 days in the 90-day blitz, that's massive all-out action. That's massive recruiting. Okay. And so first 30 days, guys, massive recruiting. Enroll 15 to 30 people right away. And on your skill set, enroll 15 to 30 people immediately. Last week I talked about people who work in call centers. You make $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, and you make 200, 300, 400, 500 phone calls a day, right? And you do that, diligently with no problem, because you have to, because it's your job, it's required. Also because it's something that's going to pay you a set income that you know for a fact you're going to get. That's why you do it, because it's guaranteed, okay? But if you actually did the same exact thing for your business, the same exact thing for your portfolio, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to make any less than 100 phone calls a day, you make a flat out fortune. You would have the ability to go out there and make a flat out fortune. Okay. So it's not even a 2, 3, 4, 500 phone call that you are making at your job. It was just being able to say, you know what, I'm going to make 50 to 100. Let's just say 50 to 100. And I don't expect anybody to do that. I'm just giving you guys an example on human behavior, the mindset, and why you do different things. You want a guarantee, right? Everybody wants a guarantee. Like when you have people who you talk to about investments, well, is it a guarantee that I won't lose my money? Is it a guarantee? People want guarantees, right? And see here, this is where you get a chance to create your own guarantee. So for the first 30 days, guys, what you want to do is you just want to recruit like crazy. And I'm talking about, this is for the builders, guys. For those of you who are just investors, who are just here to get information, got you. That's coming. So just sit here and sit on this information, okay? But 15 to 30 people right away. And when you put 15 to 30 people in, what's going to happen is, let's say the first 15 people you put in, if you're putting these people in the right mindset, that you're plugging them into the system, like Millionaire Mindset calls, like the crash camp calls, like Carly talked about earlier. You put them in a position where they're going to events like mobile weekends and things like that, guys. And they're all plugged into the weekly presentation calls, even if they're not plugged into all of them, they're just plugged into some of them where they're getting some education. When you put 15 people in the system and you have them plugged into those things, and you're promoting those things, you know, GM is a no-brainer. You'll fly right by that. You'll fly right by GM. VP is something that you'll hit immediately. And I'm just tell you, if you're a strong enough person, you can actually hit SVP with 15 people. Okay, because once you get the 15 in and you teach them those things, what's going to happen is you're going to go down in depth, and then you're going to fortify that front line by teaching their people the same exact thing, teaching those same behaviors, the same culture that we have of learning and growing and evolving to those people. You keep doing that down there in depth, which means that at some point in time, you're going to have a foundation, okay, of people who are solid, rock solid people. You're going to have a structure, okay, that you'll be able to build on. That's important. You can build a high rise on the right foundation, okay? But you can't build a 4-story building on sand if you don't have the proper foundation. It'll end up in the ocean, all shifting and falling down, okay? So with these numbers, keep in mind, these numbers are based on the fact that you are being a leader, which means that you are directing people to do exactly what they're supposed to do. You put 30 people in 30 days, guys, you know I hit ED in 30 days, doing exactly what I'm instructing you guys to do. Okay? But what if you hit SVP right away in 30 days and then you hit ED in 60 days or 90 days? Would you be mad? Because in 60 to 90 days, if you hit exactly, Dr. Arlene, if you hit it in 60 to 90 days, it don't matter because you're still doing $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a day. You're not doing that right now in your businesses. You're not doing that right now in your jobs. Okay. But I'm giving you guys the blueprint to how you blueprint wealth. I'm giving you guys a blueprint on how you design income, right? So first 30 days, that's what you do. Second 30 days, you're going to continue to recruit because you're going to continue to follow up. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up, right? But while you're following up, what you're doing for the second 30 days, okay, is this. You're going to be identifying the people who you can launch and identifying the access points. Like I have areas of my business that I can actually work in, access points. Like Dr. Arlene is an access point for me because she's coachable, teachable, trainable. She edifies heavily, and I know exactly what to expect when I talk to her people. Okay, Carly is an access point. You can see that through Latoya, Forrest, anybody and everybody in her group. Dr. Marika is an access point. I don't need to work with any of them directly. I can work down in their group and be productive, and we do big things because I know for a fact that when I get down there, they're going to respect me, they're going to follow my instructions, and we're going to go out here and make history. That's an access point, okay? But when you have people who have some influence, okay, like an Earl of Sal, or like a Jacques, or somebody who's got some influence, right? And now I can take that person because of their influence, like a Dr. April, and say, you know what? You have a lot of people who respect you, a lot of people who like you, you got a lot of people who listen to you. Let's go ahead and launch your business. Let's go ahead and put 15 to 30 people in right away and let's go ahead and make some magic. I'll focus on you because I know that if we work together, we can do that. So I am looking to identify, okay, people who, again, who are in the system, who are growing, they're following the system. And by day, like I said, this is the second, 30 days, my head is up and I'm looking for talent. Okay, I'm looking for the cream that's going to rise to the top, right? And that's who I'm going to work with. Those are the groups I'm going to work with. And I suggest you do the same exact thing. And then you have the third 30 days, right? The third 30 days, again, you're still going to be recruiting because you're still going to be following up and following through. You're still going to be prospecting, doing your thing, right? But that's not going to be a priority, but you're going to do it simultaneously. Remember, you're a genius, okay? And everybody put in your notes, I'm a genius, okay? Put in your notes right now, stop what you're doing, I'm a genius. You can put it at the top of the page if you want, highlight it, come back to it, highlight it again. But this is what I am a genius means. I am a genius means you can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, okay? It means that you can recruit, okay, and develop at the same time, okay? The third 30 days is you basically what I call whipping the cream. Remember, you was looking for the cream that was rising to the top. Now it's where you get a chance to whip the cream, right? This is where you get a chance to now develop your successors. This is where now you see the people who are following your lead. You see the people who are doing everything that you coach them to do, regardless of what their results are, okay? But they are getting results, right? And you take those people and you camp down with those people, you mentor them, coach them, you develop them, and then you go out there and create points of distribution, access points that you no longer have to be involved in. These are now appreciating assets, right? Now, when you do business over there, it's about you going over there making cameo appearances. You still have a mentorship relationship with the people at the top of those organizations to make sure that they're always in the loop, make sure they're fine-tuned, well-oiled machines, right? And that they know exactly what's going on in their groups. And so you're doing that because guess what? When that 90 days is over with, you get a chance to restart and do it again. Right? The more and more you do that, the better it is. I'm gonna tell you what this is like though. Okay, for some of you say, well, man, I just did it for 90 days, just ran as hard as I could for 90 days. Well, give yourself a 2-week break or a 3-week break or a 4-week break and then do it again. Okay, if you feel like you need to do that. But consider this is that when you open up and you launch your business and you do it so well that people want to be a part of it, so they franchise with you. So now this next blitz is a new batch of franchisees that you're working in. Consider it as you're expanding your territory globally. You're opening up new access points, new stores, new points of distribution, right? You're relaunching your new franchises. Okay, you're opening up the doors to new access points, appreciating assets. I'm going out to find me some more, some more Lakeland and Chandlers. I'm going out to find me some more Terikas and Majors. I'm going out to find me some more Tanya Lawrences. I'm going out to go find me some more Laura Johnsons, right? I got to do this because right now is the most optimal time for me to go out here and maximize the amount of money that I can make and maximize the amount of market share that I can grab. I need to do this before everybody else wakes up and smells my coffee. Not the coffee. This is my coffee, right? That's what this is about. Timing is everything, guys. Timing is everything. Some of y'all get upset when y'all miss sales. Oh man, red apple sale. Oh man, I should have went. I was trying to go by Macy's yesterday. Okay, Black Friday. Some of y'all slept in the Sunday and you missed it. And Labor Day sales, all these sales. My wife over here pitching sales to me. See, we don't know nothing about me and Forrest don't know nothing about none of these sales, but I can just tell you right now, all y'all women over there like, yeah, that sale. And y'all can type some sales into the chat if you want to. That's just how, but if you miss that sale, you're gonna have some anxiety. But if you miss $1 million, you don't. And that's a challenge. That's a problem. You have things like holidays, birthday parties, and stuff like that that you miss that you have more value on than missing an opportunity. It's not even an opportunity, a blind opportunity. It's an opportunity that you know how it works. Like you're walking into this situation, this staking opportunity right now with a crystal ball. Okay. You got a chance to see the future because what you was in it a minute ago. And so we gotta get this next 90 days, guys, and we gotta run. And you want to make sure you're running on purpose. Okay. But the thing that keeps people from running is baggage. Okay. The things that keep people from running, is not just baggage, but emotions, negative emotions. And when you have negative emotions, most negative emotions, guys, have fear as a foundation. Okay. The most negative emotions have fear as a foundation. And I'll just tell you, that's going to be a really big bag of weight that you can jump if you can just get rid of the fear. Okay. I can just tell you, one of my biggest fears is fear of public speaking. Okay. I can talk in a group like there's nobody business, but you put me in front of people, in front of a stage, in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, and back in the day, and I could not speak to save my life. And I knew for a fact I wasn't qualified to speak. I wasn't prepared to speak. I wasn't trained on speaking. And I knew at that point in time, no one wanted to hear anything I had to say in my mind. These are all the things I told myself. I spoke bad, run-on sentences, spoke too fast, like anything and everything that could go wrong in language, came out of my mouth when it came to speaking. Okay. And it's just one of my favorite books. Which helped me out a whole lot. I actually had a speech pathologist that I hired to help me speak. Okay. Did a lot of work on me. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I still look at my book from time to time. I look at that book just like I look at my Spanish notes. I still go through it. I still refresh myself because I understand that if I don't use it, I'll lose it. Okay. If I don't read that book, I'll get lazy on my language. And now I'm miscommunicating, which means that you guys lose money. Because if you don't get the proper communication from me, then you lose. Okay? You lose. So that's important. But whatever your baggage is, whatever your fear is, we want to make sure that we talk about the antidote to that. We want to make sure you guys figure out how to fix yourself. It's got to be an inside job. Okay? I'm going to give you some things to think about, some tools to work with, but you still have to go out here and finish the job yourself. Okay. So when you look at the antidote to fear, so understanding that everyone acts in fear, and when you succeed in the face of fear, it's not only courageous, it fortifies you for the next time. Okay. First of all, public speaking is something that 99% of the people that you meet have a fear of. So let me share some with you. When you actually speak in public and do something that another person is scared of doing, you become their hero. They respect you for that, if nothing else, because that's something that they would love to do, but they feel like they can't. Okay? So I just want to put that on your plate. Okay. But here are a couple of ways that you can actually reduce the fear of failing, guys. And by the way, write this down and put this somewhere where you can see it on a regular basis. Fear is the real coward. Fear is the real coward. Fear is the bully, right? And bullies are, they're afraid. They're insecure. They have low self-esteem, right? And so they have to pick on people, and they find the most vulnerable people to pick on. So when you pick back on fear and you pick back on bullies, what happens is they both go away. Okay. So I want to make sure we put that as a little side note. But number one, and this is not in any order, but I have them numbered here in my notes. This is like Sipa said, this is out of one of the books of being. It's old, man. I'm trying to tell you it's old, but it's good stuff. All right. The Bible old too. So y'all still read that. All right. So number one, analyze all potential outcomes, right? So analyze all the potential outcomes, kill the fear of the unknown by considering all of the potential outcomes of that task or that decision. Okay, so when I say all of the potential outcomes, let's say you were prospecting, okay? You were talking to somebody, you were about to talk to somebody, but you were scared. So what are the potential outcomes? They embrace your conversation, have a delightful conversation with you, or they avoid you, don't say anything to you, they brush you off, what are other outcomes, right? They stop, have a conversation with you, don't like what you're talking about. There's a lot of different outcomes. When you realize all the potential outcomes of whatever you're about to do, prospect, do a presentation, whatever it is, none of those are going to kill you. Okay, none of those are going to put you in a position to where you would be stuck in cement and say, you know what, I can't move forward with this. Because once you actually realize what all of the outcomes can be, you realize that when you base them up against your goals, your dreams, you realize that there really are nothing to be afraid of. You might have a little discomfort with a no. Guys, if you're speaking to a lady, some of you guys don't know what to say, to a lady, so you let her walk right by. Right? And your future wife just walked out the door because you didn't know what to say. And you thought that whatever you said, the reaction that she was going to give you was going to be something that you couldn't live and bear. Right? It's not that crucial. It's not that important. Okay. So number 2, learn to think more positively, mastering changing your thoughts. Learn to think more positively and master changing your thoughts. Okay. So when you look at positivity, guys, it's a really big tool. Okay. When it comes to fighting fear, it's a really big tool, when it comes to initiating, any type of activity, that you really want to do. And you start thinking about what happens instead of worrying about what goes wrong, what goes right. What if it goes right? What if it actually hits? What if you actually do get the $5,000 a day or $10,000 a day? What happens if you do get to $15,000 a day? What happens if you do recruit 30 people? Okay. Because every time you hear a presentation, every time you hear a conversation, every time you hear an opportunity, the first thing pops in your mind is, what could go wrong? What could I lose? Something negative. Always and forever, guys, going forward, change anything that would be negative to a positive. Reflect on how you respond and react to people's questions, people's opinions, anything. It just decide that you're going to be positive with all of it going forward. Remember, fear is a negative emotion. You can't have a negative emotion if you commit to being a positive person. Okay? It just nullifies it. But that also, again, positive thinking, guys, it actually is a credible, powerful way to build your self-confidence and neutralize self-sabotage. Okay? It neutralizes self-sabotage. Being positive, okay? No different than wanting to work out, guys. Just being positive, instead of having a negative emotion about the pain or the sweat or the heat. I lost about 4 days of bike riding about 2-3 weeks ago when it started getting hot. And because that negative emotion about the heat. Okay. Look at, I draw heat. So I'm already going to be hot, right? So when I get out there on that bike, all I can think about is how hot it's going to be. And those negative thoughts sabotage, me and my bike ride. So when I got out there, I said, you know what, I'm just going to ride it anyway. And I'm just going to get it done anyway. And what I found is when I went out there, I was going so fast that I was cool enough, even though the sun was still hitting me, but I started riding through the neighborhoods where he had trees and shade. So now I ride, instead of on the main streets with no trees, I'm all through the neighborhoods, dream building and having an experience while I'm riding in the shade. And then, as a matter of fact, I did 7 miles the other day, most longest I've ever ridden on a bike, period. And I did it in the heat because I was in the shade. I had a positive perspective on it. So just be positive, guys. Number 3, look at the worst case scenario, and it may not be that bad. It's normally a movie that you produce in your head. I just talked about that a little bit. That will never happen. Okay, the worst case scenario. Again, a lot of times, guys, if you're the right person, it'll never happen. And I'm gonna go ahead and move to number 4 because that was pretty much like number 1. But number 4, have a contingency plan. Okay. Have a contingency plan. If you're afraid of failing at something, have a plan B. It's no different than us saying, you know what, I'm going to invest in this, but I'm also leverage another investment. Okay, I'm also going to diversify, right? That's my plan B. All right. And so you can do a plan B on anything and everything. So when you have a plan B, guys, when you have leverage, when you have more, if you notice, the more investments you have, the least you really and truly think about the one that, like, if you only have one, you're gonna think about it all the time. How many of you guys have people who they invested in Novatech, it's the only thing that they invested in, and they keep calling you, right? It's because it's the only thing they have that's the only thing that they invested in. They didn't have a plan B, C, D, or E, right? But people who had 4 or 5 investments, 6 investments, okay, 2 of them go down, you still have 3, 4, or 5. And you're really not that worried. You're not that distracted, okay? But there's nothing that you can do about it except for diversify. If you don't control the controllable, then you're going to sit there and you can be like, you know what? I'll never invest again. I knew I shouldn't invest. Now all the negative talk comes in. All the negative self-talk comes in, all the sabotaging coming in for future endeavors. Okay. And so again, have a contingency plan. Let's see here. Use goal setting. Number 5, use goal setting. So set a goal that's clearly defined, as we talked about when I did the goal setting deal, and make sure it has a date on it and what the benefits of accomplishing that goal will be. Okay. Set a goal that is clearly defined, set a date on it, and what the benefits are of accomplishing that goal will be. Okay. And this is what happens. It gives you the answer for the unknown, and it gives you something to distract you from the fear. It gives you the answer of the unknown, right? And it gives you something to distract you from the fear. Okay. Number 6, this is one I really do like. This is one of the ones that I appreciate the most. Number 6, undevelop the fears you created. Undevelop the fears that you created. Remember, you were only born with 3 fears: the fear of falling, the fear of loud noises, and the fear of abandonment. Those are the only 3 fears you were born with. Anything else that you actually have a fear for, you actually develop that fear, which means that you can undevelop it. You can undo it. Okay? That's important. You can unlearn it, guys. All you have to do is put yourself in a process to unlearn it. Like the fear of public speaking, you don't like speaking, and the fear of public, and presence of people in public, what you do is you start speaking in small audiences. You start reading like in book clubs, something as simple as a book club when you're reading out in front of people. That could be the start, to you unlearning the fear of public speaking. Another way for you to unlearn public speaking is karaoke. See, nobody's gonna really judge you when you go out and sing karaoke. They know everybody that sings karaoke can't sing, except for the people in the Asian places. They be in there getting it. They be in there performing. So they be getting it. So, but there's a lot of different ways that you can unlearn different things, guys. Okay, on different fears. Number 7, attack it with massive action. And you attack your fear with massive action. Remember, when you actually do something that you're scared of doing one time, okay, and you don't die from it, right? It lets you know that it's not that bad. The next time you do it, you're better at it, right? Better at it, less intimidated. By the 3rd time you do it, you have little to no fear of it at all. Okay. So the more and more you do it, the less intimidating and fearful of it you'll be. But if you do a lot of it right away, it goes away right away. Right? You don't have those same fears. Like I have anxieties for speaking, but I don't have fears of speaking. And the way I actually, put myself in a position of public speaking when I'm in front of a big room of people, audience of people, 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 2,000 people, whatever it's going to be, I know this, that once I start talking, at some point in time, I got to stop. At some point in time, it's got to be over. So if I know my starting point and my ending point, I know that all I have to do is control what I say with in between. And when I say, hey, thank y'all for coming out, good night, I can breathe again. Okay? And that's kind of how I handle it. I say a prayer before I speak, and I speak real slow on purpose so I can make sure that I dictate the type of tone and pace I'm going to have. And then what I do is I make sure that I get good cliff notes in my presentation so I don't go down rabbit holes. Because when I first started speaking, that was a problem, right? You get distracted, you go down a rabbit hole, and next thing you know, you got a 2-hour presentation when it's only supposed to be 35, 45 minutes. Okay. So again, massive action, massive action, massive action. But number 8, bombard your brain with affirmations against fear. Okay, bombard your brain, right, with affirmations and quotes against fear. You got books, there are books out there, there are audios out there, there are videos out there on YouTube, there are all kind of different things that are out there that you can actually look at. I know one book that I read was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I think her name was Susan Jeffries, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. But I'm just telling you, you educate yourself on what fear really is, why you have fear, why you have those anxieties, and you can beat it 100% of the time. You just got to be up to the fight. Number 9, keep company with courageous people. Keep company with courageous people. People who you see, like I said, when you see people doing things that you would like to do, but you are fearful of doing them, hang around those people. Watch them, study them, look at their mannerisms, ask them questions, okay? And again, it becomes contagious. It starts to rub off on you. And the more and more you're around courageous people, again, the more courageous you'll become. That actually helps you normalize it. This is like if you are a poor person, being around a rich person all the time, being around a wealthy person all the time, it becomes a normal thing to you. So now you become wealthier. You start to increase your own personal value. Becoming a person hanging around people who are extremely educated, well-learned people, you put yourself in a position where now you start to become educated. You start to become, again, somebody who starts to seek, information and have and establish a passion for learning. And association is very, very important, guys. But hang around courageous people, people who are doing things that other people are scared to do. Hang around those people all the time. Okay. And so in closing, when it comes to this part, there's a quote that I wrote, and this is a quote that you see people get tattoos of this quote. You see it on T-shirts, and it's really a scripture. But though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. Right? It says, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And when you look at, the valley itself, guys, is basically the unknown, the evidence of things that have happened negatively or bad, right? That's the value. That's the value. Your thoughts, that dark alley that you walk through in your head, your mind, that's the valley, right? Your subconscious that stores all those negative responses and stuff, that's the valley. And then when you look at the evil, no evil, not some, none, that it can't prosper, against you if you're prepared. Then you look at 3, the comfort. Comfort comes from, the system, your allies, your accountability partners, your affirmations, your videos, your education, your preparation, right? All the things that just massive action. All these things, again, these are your comfort. That's where you get your comfort from. Your rod and your staff comes, your weapons that protect you. These are the things that protect you. Grant Cardone, Millionaire Mindset Call, all these things that fortify you guys, those are the things that protect you. The systems, the leaders, personal development, all of that is your staff, all of that's your rod. Okay. So again, just wanted to touch base on fear for a little bit before we go into the second part here. But just whatever fears you have, and you have them, we all have them. Okay, just make sure you reflect on it, identify them, and address them. Okay, come up with an anecdote. come up with a remedy, come up with a way for you to get rid of it, so you can go out here and really move fast with no baggage. Okay, so let's see here. Show closer, not necessarily to me, but to this board. All right. I think we got it. Okay. So make sure it's not a permanent marker. All right. So when it comes to the circle of influence, we talked about fear, and a lot of you guys are leaving millions of dollars on the board. Okay. So when you look at fear and why you do that, and you look at like your chicken list, okay, that chicken list, like a lot of you guys don't even put people who you overly respect or people you look up to on a lot of your list, and they should be the first people on your list. Because let me tell you something about a no from a big person or a no from a little person. I would Kim, give me 1 second, please, guys. Okay, so when it comes to fear, see me, if I'm somebody who's new, if you're in network marketing or new to affiliate marketing or new to these type of platforms and clubs, I would be more fearful of a negative no from a small person than a no of a big person. Okay, let me share some with you. If I have, let's say, somebody who is a very negative person, small thinking individual, and I tell them about what I'm doing, their no is gonna come with some stuff. It's gonna come with some heat on it. Okay, their no is gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't even know why you called me with that. Matter of fact, that sounds illegal. And they're gonna tell you, about everything that they know nothing about. They're gonna come up with all kind of stories. Some people even, it's crazy, some people actually create stories on who they know that lost money. Right? People go at all lengths to make sure that they not only they tell you no, but to make sure that you don't do it or you quit on your goals, your dreams. Right? But a big person's no. And if I tell Jacques, hey Jacques, I got a deal, I'm making 1% a day, as a matter of fact, I can actually make up to 1.4% a day on one of my programs. You should take a look at it. And this is what Jacques is going to do. Jacques said, you know what? I took it, I like it. It's just not for me. But I might actually have a couple people that I can refer you to. And you know what? I wish you well on it. If you need anything, any help, let me know. See, that's the difference between a big person's no and a little person's no. And you put yourself in a line of attack when you go out there with a whole lot of little people. You call on all these little people, you're not fortified. Hey, start at the top, guys. Start at the top. Go where people who understand money, understand business, and can give you some really good advice, okay, or some assistance. Go there first. Okay. Or don't just avoid them. Let me say that. So here, I want to make sure you guys can see this. All right, good. So this is a circle of, I'm gonna start with the circle of influence first. Okay. So this is you here in the middle. You. Okay. So what happens is this. When you actually look at the circle of influence, the first thing you want to do is you want to start to communicate with people who are above you, okay, in affluence, above you in socioeconomic status, above you in the careers, people who you look up to. You want to go up and you want to take this information to them. You want to package it perfectly, okay, and you want to take it to them. Okay? And when they see it and they get started, guess what they do? The same exact thing. They take it up because they understand how this works. Okay. And then when they do it, they already here, they're taking it up again. And guess what? Here, at this point in time, they taking it to a level of a person who you don't have access to. Okay. Some of you couldn't get close to because of their bodyguards or security. Right? Celebrities, athletes, millionaires, by the time you get up here, these people are going up and going up and going up. You at the top. And I had a lady, I was actually, Kim and I were, name of the company was, I think it was Cyberwatch, way back in the day. And we had a friend of ours who we actually met and in another, like a networking deal. And sweet lady, she worked with Kim and she actually coached Kim through some things and mentored Kim through some things at a job. And so Kim looked up to her, she invited her, she got started. Then the person she actually invited was somebody who owned a whole slew of insurance companies. They got started. Well, that guy who got started, who owned all the insurance companies, his father played for the Bengals and the 49ers, right? And so he got started. And then when he got started, he got Oscar Robertson. See, some of you guys don't know Forrest. Remember who Oscar Robertson is? I see a man up there shaking his head up there. You know, he knows who Oscar Robertson is. And they in Cincinnati, I got a chance to meet him in person. And when I met him, because of the edification, the big O, there you go, Tim. Because of the edification that they did for me at that time leading up to the big O, when I was sitting in front of him in his office, he was like, hey, I was like, man, Mr. Robinson, it's a pleasure meeting you. He said, Mr. Bean, it's a pleasure meeting you. I heard a lot about you. And at that point in time, I hadn't accomplished a whole lot of anything. But it was the edification, right? But it was also this chicken list training that I got by being at a seminar. Okay, this is not mine. I stole this. Well, I bought this. Actually, I didn't steal it. You know what I'm saying, Barb, I bought this. So here, when I went through this process, right, I got the big O, and then I got his network, right? So now he started talking to everybody in his network, and guess what happens? His network are people who look up, but also people who are beneath him. Okay, guess what? That person's still above my socioeconomic status, right? And they talk to their network, and then they also talk to people who are beneath them, right? And then they talk to their network, and then they also talk to people who are beneath them. And the people who are beneath them are just like me, and I'm okay with me, right? But this is how this is supposed to work. But people with poor mentalities, right? And people who had been trained, this is what they do. They say, hey, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna talk to somebody who needs it. I'm gonna talk to somebody who's about to lose their house, somebody who's broke, somebody who doesn't work, right? Somebody who they'll go to the club on Friday and Saturday, but they won't come to a Millionaire Mindset on Monday. This is who people are trying to recruit right here. And then when it don't work, because people have bad habits, right? These people don't understand wealth philosophies. These people don't understand personal development. Guess what? They quit. These people, when they get in, they quit. And guess what happened, Barb? These people up here quit, right? And these people up here quit. These people up here quit. And guess what ends up happening? Barb, you end up quitting, right? Because it don't work, right? That's what they say, it don't work. No, it works. You didn't work it, right? So this is the circle of influence. Recruit up. Recruit up. The only reason you don't recruit up, guys, honestly, is because you feel like you're inadequate. You feel like you don't know enough information. You feel like you're not prepared. You feel like you're not on that person's level. I'm giving you all the reasons you've already given yourself, but none of that's true. Okay, you can't present the right opportunity to the right person the wrong way and they not get started. They'll get started. So go out and dominate your chicken list. Okay, go out here and talk to people who have millions of dollars, people who already make $250,000, $500,000, $1 million. Because when you tell a person who makes, give an example, if you tell a person who makes $3,000 a month that you can make, well, I have somebody who's making $7,000 a day. That don't compute, Jock. You can already blow them out the water because now they're doing the math, Laura, and they're saying, I make $3,000 a month. This person makes $7,000 a day. Ooh, man. That's $21,000 a month. That's a lot. Yeah, that's 21,000. That's $210,000 a month. I'm sorry, $210,000 a month. That can't be real. That can't be right. Right? This got to be a scam. Right? But when you tell somebody who literally, makes $500,000 a year, $40,000 a month, right? Hey, you can make $1,000 a day. That's $30,000. They already make $40,000 a month. They already make $1,000 a day. So that's not foreign to them. There you go, Barb. They can receive that. Right? They're processing that information real time and they're saying, you know what, I can double my salary because I've been stuck at $500,000 for the last 5 years. Okay. I've been trying to figure out how to get to the $1 million status. Right. And now I found out somebody just came over here and Jeremy just told me, you know what, I got to wait for you to add extra $500 to $1,000 a day to your portfolio, and you can withdraw every day. Jeremy, when you get the $2,000 a day, Jeremy, $60,000 a month, you can withdraw $2,000 every day. You kidding me? No, I'm serious. Here's what I did today, and this is what I withdrew today, Jeremy. And so now Jeremy is not thinking about all what everybody else thinks about. He's a big thinker. He's already an earner. He's already an entrepreneur. He's already somebody who is on my chicken list, somebody who's on my A list. And I'm going to make sure I call Jeremy before everybody else calls him. Your job is to call people before everybody else calls them. There are a lot of animals in St. Louis. A lot of y'all have the same, a lot of the same contacts. And I'm going to tell you, y'all better be over there calling y'all people, because I know for a fact that between Rich and Pastor Marlon Baylor, they always had this little friendly rivalry going on. Pastor Baylor, I know you cool and everything, but don't let Rich get to your people. Yeah. So this is the chicken list, guys. This circle of influence right here. Circle of influence is very, very important. Make sure. Let's see. Where my eraser go? Oh, here it is. All right. So blues lose things, though. So remember, I'm a blue. So now we're gonna go to circle impact. All right. So put it right there where I can find it. All right. So the circle of impact. Right. So again, this is you right here. Okay. And remember, you have your 5 people. Everybody's got their 5 on their front line. Right. And what you want to do is you want to say, hey, what is my goal? What do I want to achieve? So let's just say if your goal is ED. ED is what, 2 million, right? So well, let's just say something small. Let's just say SVP. Okay. So let's just say your goal is SVP. It's 500,000. Okay. Okay. So what you have to do now is figure out how many people you need to help. No, so SVP, VP, yeah, 500. How many people you need to actually help get their goals accomplished? Okay, so when you look at here, this is you. So 500,000, and let's just say 5 people here. Okay. And so remember, you're the catalyst of it all. Okay, you're the catalyst of it all. So here, let's see here. Oh, give me 1 second here. You know what? That's a good point. Is the board bigger for y'all? Carl, if you can come off mute, let me know if the board is bigger for you guys.
No, sir. It's still like we just see it small because it's only in your square, and your square is smaller, just like it's the same size as all of ours.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Bean, if people on Zoom switch to speaker view, your board will be nice and big on the Zoom side.
There you go. Okay, right there. So I see exactly what you're talking about now, Forrest. Okay, so if you guys go to speaker view, like Forrest said, speaker only or speaker view, you can actually see the big picture. And Facebook also, guys, that's the most important thing. Facebook is showing as well. So, okay. Thank you, sweetie. All right. So we all know what GM is, right? So you have, I left a little room over here because this is the person who is the joker. You always shoot for more than what you need, right? So again, looking at $100,000 in each one of these circles. Okay. Now, basically, you're helping 6 people get to $100,000. Somebody's not going to make it. 2 or 3 people may not make it, but you'll have enough money working. You have enough volume and production working that you'll actually hit it because you have enough people shooting for goals and running for goals. So, in this 100,000 over here, so let's say this person wants to actually hit VP, and VP is 150,000, right? VP 150,000, VP 150,000, and this is 150K, so I'm just putting 150 right here. Okay, so if everybody here is trying to hit VP, everybody here is trying to get to 150,000, what's the likelihood of them getting to 100,000 for us? Think it's pretty likely. Okay, so even if they all fall short, right, you still hit your goal. Okay, so that circle of impact, this is, and when you look at it, so okay, well, how do I get them to 150,000? Well, what you do is you help this person here find 3 people that wants to hit GM. Or 4 people, I'm sorry, 4 people who want to hit GM. Okay, so each one of these individuals, that's why I say when you got your runners, you got your gunners, you got your people who are out there in the trenches, and this is why you don't have time to answer customer service questions, because you're helping people who have goals and dreams. All right, so this person here identifies 4 people who want to get to GM, right? Which is 50,000, 50,000, 50,000. So if 2 of those people hit GM, that's 100,000. The other 2 miss, and they both get it halfway done. That's 25 and 25. That's 150. If all of them just get 25,000 each, and all of them miss it, that's 100,000. All of that goes to this circle. 100, 150, 200,000, doesn't matter. It's going to this point of distribution, this access point. This is somebody, again, this is my Carly, this is my Marika, this is my Arlene, this is my Forrest, this is my Tanya, this is my Dale, right? These are my access points. My Joe, you know what I'm saying? These are all my access points. So when you have more access points, okay, April, Angel, when you have more access points, Laura, when you have more access points, okay, you have more people to help. You have the ability to go out here and blow your goals out of the water. That's why I don't tell y'all, this is what y'all should do. I go do it first and tell y'all what I did and give you the opportunity to follow me. I'm the prototype, right? So here, in this situation, this is what's happening, okay? Here is all these people here are feeding these people, and you are helping everybody. You are helping all of these people, right? So if you're focusing on these people, you're helping these people, let's just say you do hit your $500,000 goal, okay? Watch this. That volume goes up, right? In this situation for me, the volume went up to 𝐭𝐲𝐬, DAP and 𝐭𝐲𝐬, but 𝐭𝐲𝐬 has the platform. right? And so my very first conversation with 𝐭𝐲𝐬 was via text message. I said, you don't know me, but I hit executive director in 30 days in your group. We put 3.75 million in volume in your team in 30 days. My wife also hit the ED, and we had a slew of GMs and SVPs and VPs. Let's talk. See, this is what he understands. If I'm doing this right here, if I'm doing 3.75 mil in my position here, he can count. He knows exactly how much volume that went up to him to help him hit ED, and I think he may have just hit MD, or he's about to hit MD before they shut it down, right? So I am helping him. That 3.75 went in here, and he know it. And so now, phase 2, staking. Guess who has the microphone? Guess who has access to the platform, right? Guess who has access to, his resources? Me, because I am building up my foundation here, helping these people. I'm focusing on these people. That's all I'm doing. I'm focusing on my people. When I focus on my people, I put my people first, right? All the volume that comes from them flows up to him. So now I get favor. That's when people talk about favor. Favor is not fair. Favor is earned. Favor is deserved. I don't get gimmies. I had something that was really laughable that somebody told one of my people, well, are y'all following Mr. Bean? Well, he get paid to go and join these companies. No, I get paid after I join the company by working. Nobody gives me anything. I don't take handouts from companies. As a matter of fact, let me share something with you. For the small thinking person that said that, or for small thinking people who may think that, I would never go to a company and take money. Let me share with you why. When you go to a company and take money from a company, it says something bad about both of you. It says that you need their help, and it says that that company needs yours, which means that both of y'all really shouldn't be doing business. Because if a company has to pay me to do business with them, I don't want to go to that company. Unless you're going to pay me as an employee, you're going to pay me up under the table, I don't need to do business with you because you need me, which means that y'all in trouble. Okay? So me, I'd rather get in and blow it up. People who are in network marketing, when they do deals, they actually have contracts. They took that money on that contract. They have to fulfill that contract, pay it back, or there's problems. Or they have to stay in the company that they really don't want to be in. And people who they normally take money in companies that they really wouldn't build if they actually had skill. Okay, so just want to give you guys some insights, some psychology behind that. But hopefully you understand the circle of impact and how that works. It works the same way for GMs. So you got people who want to be GMs here, right? And you say, you know what, I want to be a VP. For some of y'all who are just getting started, I want to be a VP, right? If you want to be a VP, it's the same thing. All right? VP is 150,000. You need 2 GMs, right? So if you need 2 GMs, you got 150,000, and what you do is you go out here and you put 15 people to 30 people in right away. You're going to have some people who make decisions right away. And let's just say you have 5 people here, 30K, 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 20K, 50K, and then you have somebody over here with 10. Okay? So let me change one of these right here to 50. Because you're not going to have that many people and all of them miss. But you have, again, 50 right here and 50 right here. If you have 2 GMs, that's 100,000, okay? But you also have 30, 30, 20, and 10. 50, 60, 80, 90, and then again, you have another 10 over here with all the extra people. Which you really don't need. Because remember, you got 15, 20 people over here. that's extra volume. These are just your main points of your distribution. Right now, you're already over about $30,000 to $40,000 over the 150 that you need for VP. Okay, so it's all about numbers, guys. It's always about finding people who you can actually help. Who are you focusing on, right? That's what it's about. Who are you focusing on? Who are you helping? Who are you making a priority? But also, who's reciprocating? Okay, who's really respecting your advice? Who's plugging into the system? Who's evolving? Who's showing you that they really want it? Okay, guys, get away from doing business with people who you like, and stop focusing on those people and focus on the people who are actually out there following the system. Focusing on people who respect you, because the people who you like and the people who you love that you bring into business with you, those people don't know how to treat you. They take you for granted. They're entitled. That's why when it comes to my friends and my family, I'm harder on my friends and my family than I am on anybody, because those are the people who feel like they can take advantage of you the most. Okay, my friends, my family, they all respect me. They all look up to me when it comes to business because they know I don't pull any punches. They know I'm not going to let you get in here and take liberties and feel privileged. No. And if you guys who went to Puerto Rico with us, y'all know, when we was at Puerto Rico, my brother-in-law didn't want to stand up and say his name and give his, nah, bro, we waiting on you. You got to get up. I know you don't like speaking in public. I know you got to fear speaking in public, but that's why you're here. And he got up and spoke because he had no choice. Everybody looking at him like, bro, you're going to have to speak. You're not going to move forward until you speak. He got up and spoke. You got to have that same, approach with your people. You got to have that same, you got to demand, people give you their best. Okay. Because I'm telling you, they're giving people their best who they're not making money with. They're giving people who their best who they're slaving for. They're giving people their best who don't have their best interests in heart. People who don't care nothing about your family. They're giving those people their best. When you have people who are in the trenches that who are working for you and working with you, doing presentations for you, helping you with 3 ways and lifelines, these people trying to help you get free, and you disrespect those people. This is why you should take your time away from people who don't respect you. This is why you should put 15, 20, 30 people in, because what happens is this. Let me share something with you, and then we're going to get out of here. This is why you should always replace people, okay? So let's just say here you have, let's just say you have this person here. They got 30,000 here, first 30 days, 30,000. But they got the wind of it. They got this, it just boom, and went crazy. So now they're over here, $500,000. They're over here at SVP, right? And they're making $1,000 a day. $30,000 a month. Okay. There's nothing you can do with them. There's nothing you can tell them. Big head, ego, don't know how to behave because they never had that type of money before in their family, in their life. And what happens is now this person here becomes a cancer in your group. Okay. So, but you can't kick that person out because you don't know how to handle conflict. Okay. This is the thing. The best way to handle conflict is make sure you never have to. Conflict prevention. Okay. So this is conflict prevention. This GM is a VP. This person is a VP. This person is an SVP. This person becomes an ED, right? This person over here, ED. It's so much money, so much success over here that this person has no power. They have earnings, right? They have no power. They can't control you. They can't manipulate you. They already understand that they're not the reason for your season, because if this person was the highest ranking individual in your group, and they know you didn't have any other SVPs, they know you have a couple of GMs, but most of the volume came from their group, that person can now hold you hostage. That person can now start to abuse you and manipulate you, right? That's why as soon as I put people in, I replace them. I don't care how good they're doing. I don't care how bright the sun is, you know, how happy they are. At some point in time, human nature kicks in and people's ego kick in, and next thing you know, you got a problem. Okay, but when people know that you don't need them, people know that you have a full-fledged portfolio full of heavy hitters, they respect it. They don't get out of line. Even if they have something bad to say, they say it under their breath, or they say it to themselves. Replace people immediately. Like Dale said, there you go, Dale. As soon as you recruit somebody, replace them. But at some point in time, again, people are going to start to feeling themselves. And this is when it normally happens. Around about $10,000. When you're making $10,000 a month, that's when you normally start to feel yourself. Okay. Just being honest with you. So, guys, that's our night. Yeah, again, I want to make sure we talked about fear. I want to make sure we talked about the circle of influence, the circle of impact, so you guys can really get a good idea of what you should be doing and how you should be thinking going forward. Go out here and take full advantage of this thing, guys. Don't just be in the company. You know, go out here and make a difference. Go out here and help some people. Go out here and expose people, because the people you're not talking to need it. Okay, they really need it. Don't be selfish. You got your money in, that's great, but help some other people, you know, put themselves in a position where they never have to worry about money again as long as they live. Okay. And also the other thing, and I'll let you guys go on this, don't make your minimals your maximums. Okay. You see a lot of people in your groups who they have $10 or $20 liquidity, $50 liquidity, stuff like that. Guys, go and put $250 in there. Go put $500 in there. You don't have to go put 5,000, but don't play the minimal game, because when you start to see, you know, 1.4% or 1.2% on $20 and $50, that's nothing. You're not going to see anything that can help you. Okay. When you go out there and put 250 and 500, just take it up a little bit and do something. You don't have to go out there and get crazy, but go do 250, 500, $1,000, something like that, and look at it. Take it out. Take the money out every day. Just take the money out every day and watch what it does to you. Watch how it changes you. Watch how you start to evolve. Watch how you start to get the big picture. Watch how you start to get comfortable and more courageous. Okay. This is not the time for you to be playing with this thing. For those of you talking about, I'm gonna wait until, and this, remember, this is your choice. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just giving you some scenarios, you know, that you can play through your mind and say, hey, look, if I'm sitting here waiting for the whole entire ecosystem to be built out, and that could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 9 months, it could be 12. And you're not, especially people who are not pledging or putting the money back in to let it grow. Like, you guys have nodes that are mining and creating coins and dollars. Okay. Don't just sit there and let that do nothing and collect dust. Okay. You should have that money working for you. That you should put coveralls on that mined money and send it out to work and have it come back with friends. Okay. A lot of you guys are leaving a lot of money on the table. Okay. And it's unnecessary. And the reasoning around it makes no sense at all. Okay. Well, it does make sense. It just doesn't make dollars. Okay. So I challenge each and every last one of you guys to take inventory of what you have in your groups and your portfolios, contact your people, make sure y'all have those conversations with people and let them know. Take that money that's coming in from the mining and stake it. Right? Go out here and take your minimal of $20, $30, $50 and turn it to $250, $500, $1,000, something like that. Get people engaged, you know, in the growing. Get people engaged in stretching. Right? Again, they're not doing it because of what? Fear. It don't matter what they say. The reason is rooted in fear. Okay. So tackle, again, the root. If you dig up the root, it won't grow back. Okay. So with that, leave you guys, as always, love you guys. Don't know what we did to deserve you guys, but we're going to do everything in our power to make sure you guys get your goals and dreams accomplished. And we'll be back here next week, same time, same line, more people, more results. Let's go out here and make it happen, guys. You have a good one. Bye-bye.
Recording